Keanu Reeves, a legend of legends, a rare treasure Hollywood may never see again. Not just Neo bending reality in The Matrix or John Wick carving vengeance into legend, he is the quiet heartbeat of cinema, a soul whose kindness and humility have touched millions. In a world of ego and illusion, Keanu shines differently, genuine, compassionate, humble, a living proof that goodness still exists. But behind the smile that has soothed millions lie wounds no spotlight can heal. At 61, the man who once seemed unbreakable still battles the shadows of life, pain, haunting memories, and relentless health struggles. The first wounds were not fame's doing, they came from childhood. Born September 2nd, 1964, in Beirut, Lebanon, to a father who disappeared when he was 2 and a mother chasing stability through broken marriages, Keanu learned early that love could vanish in an instant. He moved from Beirut to Sydney, New York, and finally Toronto, a childhood of instability and fractured family ties. His younger sister Kim was his only anchor in a world that constantly shifted. School offered no refuge. Dyslexia made every classroom a battlefield. Teachers mistook curiosity for defiance. Expulsion came for asking too many questions. Amid chaos, he found sanctuary on the ice rink as a hockey goalie. Called the Wall, he discovered belonging, purpose, and proof he could be unbreakable. But at 15, a devastating injury shattered his dreams of Olympic glory, leaving him to face yet another merciless lesson. Life could take everything in an instant. And yet, he did not break. The losses forged empathy, patience, and resilience. The silence of an absent father taught compassion. The carousel of stepfathers taught trust must be earned. Dyslexia taught patience with imperfection. And losing hockey nudged him toward the stage and screen, opening the door to the destiny that would make him a legend. Keanu turned to acting not just for fame, but for survival. Small Canadian TV roles, a Coca-Cola commercial, hosting a children's show. Every step was a lesson in endurance. Arriving in Los Angeles with little more than a battered Volvo and a name most couldn't pronounce, he faced the city's indifference. But a breakthrough came. River's Edge, Permanent Record, films where his grief mirrored the losses he carried. Here he met River Phoenix, a kindred spirit who gave him a rare sense of belonging. Then fame struck with Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. The joyful role that brought millions of fans also became a cage. The goofy label clung to him, making it hard for Hollywood to see the depth beneath. Even triumph carried its shadows. But through every heartbreak and label, Keanu endured, transforming pain into the quiet strength that now inspires the world. Keanu Reeves' life proves that greatness is not born from perfection. It is forged in loss, shaped by grief, and tempered by resilience. From childhood abandonment to the heartbreak of lost dreams, every trial shaped the man the world now reveres, not just for his roles but for his heart. Each success came with shadows. The boy expelled for asking too many questions now faced rejection in Hollywood. The teenager whose hockey dreams were stolen now chased another under unforgiving lights. Fame arrived not as a gift, but as another uphill climb. Yet through cheap apartments, endless auditions, and whispered doubts, Keanu was proving something greater than stardom. He was building endurance. By the 1990s, Reeves entered Hollywood not as a golden child, but as an outsider. Point Break revealed his paradox. Danger and depth fused with sincerity. Speed vaulted him into stardom, yet he refused to trade integrity for sequels, drawing labels like reckless and unwise. But he bore them silently, unwavering. Friendship became his sanctuary. River Phoenix was the family he had never known, offering refuge from an industry built on masks. But fate was merciless. The Matrix demanded his body and soul. Martial arts, wire work, injuries, all endured for Neo. Success carved into his bones. Applause masked exhaustion. Doubt crept back with every headline. In 2014, John Wick struck like lightning. Every choreographed fight, every stunt, every bruised muscle was testament to endurance. For Keanu, glory was never gentle. Every triumph left a scar. Every standing ovation concealed suffering. Behind Neo and John Wick was a man carrying grief, yet still giving everything to his craft. Love, too, bore its shadows. Early romances like Jill Schulen ended with heartbreak. teaching him love could vanish as quickly as it appeared. Friendships like Sandra Bullock's endured over decades, a quiet loyalty, laughter, and unspoken understanding. Winona Ryder became a soul twin, a connection beyond headlines, a love without a name. Then came Jennifer Syme. With her, Keanu glimpsed the family he had longed for. Love, home, the possibility of redemption. By 1999, Jennifer was pregnant. For Keanu, it was the dream of his childhood. Stability, a child, a chance to mend the fractures of his past. And just as hope reached its peak, life struck with a cruelty words can barely capture. On Christmas Eve 1999, Keanu Reeves and Jennifer Syme faced the unimaginable. Their daughter Ava was stillborn. The nursery, once a promise of joy, became a silent shrine. Friends remember Keanu's haunted stillness, his eyes carrying a weight words could not touch. The hope he had finally found with Jennifer was ripped away, leaving a hollow quiet that would follow him for the rest of his life. Then in April 2001, fate struck again. Jennifer died in a car accident. Those who witnessed it recalled not screams, but an eerie, paralyzing silence. Keanu froze, a man hollowed by grief, the universe confirming the cruelest truth. Anyone he loved could vanish without warning. At her funeral, he carried her coffin himself, each step a testament to the weight of a heart broken beyond repair. Life's cruelty did not stop there. His sister Kim was diagnosed with leukemia. Keanu's world became a pendulum between Hollywood lights and hospital corridors. On set, he was Neo, indestructible. In Toronto, he was simply a brother, reading to Kim, holding her hand through chemotherapy, rearranging schedules, turning down roles, and quietly sacrificing everything to be at her side. After long years, she reached remission. But for Keanu, the scars remained. Grief had shaped him again. From this crucible of sorrow emerged a hidden legacy. Keanu gave millions to children's hospitals and cancer research, quietly without fanfare. His generosity was not for applause, it was gratitude, a vow to spare others the helplessness he had endured. Through loss, he discovered the endurance of patient, selfless love. Each act of kindness, each quiet gesture, carried the echo of grief, the memory of battles fought in silence. For Keanu Reeves, even amidst relentless loss, love, compassion, and humanity became his greatest triumph. In October 1993, Keanu Reeves faced a loss that would haunt him forever. His closest friend and brother in spirit, River Phoenix, collapsed outside the Viper Room and never rose again. River was only 23. For Keanu, it wasn't just a friend, it was a part of himself gone. They had shared broken childhoods, mirrored loneliness, and forged a bond unbreakable until that fateful night. Keanu mourned in silence, tears hidden from cameras, carrying River's absence into every role he played. The depth of sorrow critics praised on screen was real, an echo of a brother lost too soon. Hollywood demanded heroes, but life demanded endurance. The Matrix turned Keanu's body into a battlefield. Weeks of martial arts, relentless wire work, and a spinal injury that could have ended his career. He returned to training still braced and in pain, bending his body so Neo could bend bullets. John Wick pushed him further. Live-fire drills, jiu-jitsu locks, stunt driving, leaving his body a map of sacrifice. Every frame carried scars. Every triumph exacted a toll. Time would not relent. On the set of Good Fortune, a knee injury sounded like breaking time itself. Yet Keanu adapted with quiet discipline. Long swims, gentle walks, patient stretches. He listens to his body, bows to limits, but never surrenders his spirit. At 61, knees worn, tendons stiff, he moves carefully but still rises every day, proof of devotion, resilience, and endurance. Off-screen, Keanu's life mirrors his roles, a warrior of quiet suffering. Each scar, each slow step, each whispered prayer is a monument to what it means to give everything, for art, for family, for love. Now removed from cameras and applause, his sanctuary is a quiet house in the Hollywood Hills. Here lives a man who has bent reality, survived grief, and transformed pain into compassion, a true legend of humanity. Purchased in the early 2000s, after decades of drifting through hotels and rented apartments, Keanu Reeves's Hollywood Hills home spans more than 5,600 square feet on less than half an acre. But calling it a mansion misses the point. Its walls of glass open wide to the horizon, letting morning light spill across shaded patios and into rooms designed not for show, but for serenity. A koi pond shimmers in the courtyard. A narrow lap pool stretches into the skyline, inviting quiet reflection rather than performance. Verandas catch the lingering twilight, and gardens hold the hush of a world at peace, a sanctuary waiting for him all his life. The architecture, originally built for an art collector in the late 1980s, mirrors Keanu's values, modernist yet warm, minimalist yet alive. One wing dissolves the boundary between indoors and out, just as Keanu himself seeks openness without spectacle. Black panels at the entryway whisper restraint rather than proclaim grandeur. Friends describe the home not as a celebrity estate, but as a temple of calm, a place where grief can soften, the body can breathe, and the soul can recover. Even as a man worth hundreds of millions, the house is not a monument to wealth. It is a vessel of healing, a space to hold his heart steady. Here he shares life with Alexandra Grant, the visual artist who became his partner through collaboration, friendship, and eventually love. Their 2019 public appearance surprised the world, not because Keanu was in love, but because he finally allowed that love to be seen. At home, their days unfold in quiet rhythms, cooking together, hosting a few close friends, wandering galleries, reading side by side, or sitting in silence as the koi ripple across the pond. The house is a place of intimacy, privacy, and steady companionship, a haven against the world's chaos. Peace does not mean stillness. Keanu continues to work, but never on Hollywood's schedule. The future of John Wick remains open, contingent on what his body can endure. His cameo in Ballerina signals the passing of the torch within that universe, and good fortune shows his willingness to explore lighter, more human stories. Yet even here, fate reminds him of fragility. During filming, a slip caused his knee to give way, with a crack he compared to a potato chip breaking, a symbolic reminder that even legends cannot outrun age. He has recovered but humbly acknowledges his limits. My heart wants to keep going, but I'm not sure my knees agree. Music has returned to his life as well. Dogstar, his band, has been revived. They perform in intimate venues, not stadiums, rediscovering joy that predates Hollywood. Graphic novels, poetry, and artistic collaborations follow the same philosophy. Projects that make my heart beat faster, he says. At 61, Keanu's body bears the story of decades of stunts, collisions, and grueling performances. His frame is lean but firm, his posture slowed slightly by years of impact, yet it radiates quiet dignity. His discipline is evident, but now tempered with care. Swimming, walking, stretching, therapy, not to break, but to restore. The hair, dark with streaks of silver, the beard, salt and pepper, the body, a map of endurance. He wears time honestly, without disguise or vanity, and has transformed age itself into grace. In public, he is deliberate, scarce, measured, preferring invisibility over saturation. His legacy glows brightest in gestures, not records, funding hospitals and cancer research anonymously, gifting stunt teams and crews, helping strangers without fanfare. These are the ordinary acts of a man who has carried grief and turned it into kindness. This is Keanu's alchemy, turning loss into empathy, silence into presence. His philosophy is simple but profound. Grief changes shape, but never ends. Instead of hiding from it, he lets it soften him, cultivate generosity, and guide his life. Hollywood may have brighter or louder stars, but few carry sorrow with such humility, transforming it into a force that uplifts others. True greatness, Keanu shows us, is not in fortune or fame. It is in the quiet choices, to endure without bitterness, to be kind when no one is watching, to turn wounds into wisdom and scars into compassion. In Keanu Reeves, audiences see more than an actor. They see resilience, empathy, and the promise that even after the darkest nights, morning light always returns.